Hey everybody, I hope you guys can hear me.
Everybody!
I wish Hey everybody, welcome. I wish I could see you guys, but I know that you're out there and you're watching. My name is Jamila Bellew, and this is going to be 60 minutes of a yoga session. However, the first part of the yoga session, I'm actually going to do a little talk about yoga, what it is, what it represents, why I personally do it, and then also the connection of yoga and how it ties into self-awareness and also helping me connect to my African heritage and ancestry, which is what this topic is about and what this theme is about. So I know that we've had lots of awesome talks from people across the world. So that has been very exciting. I hope to join some of those soon. But first, so talking about what yoga is. First, I'll do an introduction of myself. My name is Jamila, and I have been practicing yoga for almost 20 years. Been practicing more seriously in the last 6 years. I came to the practice because of a significant life event where I needed some peace and some healing and found that the practice was not only physically demanding of me, but it was also mentally demanding. And it gave me a sense of strength and empowerment that I could not find in any other form of physical fitness. And it was sort of like this, I call it the holy grail for me. It gave me what I needed physically, and it also gave me what I needed mentally. So absolutely, I've been practicing for 15, 20 years. Um, my background is I actually am an engineer, worked in corporate America, but now I actually own my own yoga studio here in Atlanta, Georgia, Firefly Yoga Center. And I am fully dedicated to the practice and the yogic lifestyle. So first question most people ask me, what is yoga? Yoga is a very vast practice. It's an ancient practice that started in India. What most people think about yoga is they usually see people putting themselves in postures, putting themselves in pretzels. That's what most people think about when they think of yoga. Yoga is actually so much more than that. There's actually one little tiny piece of yoga of what the Western world um, has promoted yoga to be. Yoga is actually a complete lifestyle. So it follows an 8 limb path. So the physical piece or the postures is just one of the 8 limbs of yoga. This 8 limb path is a blueprint and an outline for living a fulfilling life. Talks about, self study and self practice. Meditation is also considered yoga as well. Um, and there's so and it kind of lays out this plan and this blueprint that one can follow in order to live a fulfilling life. Like I mentioned, it started thousands of years ago in India. It was brought to the Western world or modernized in the last 30 to 40 or 30 to 50 years, um, to what you probably see and witness as yoga is today. And for me, so what does yoga do? What are some of the benefits of yoga? I actually tell people yoga can really save your life. It can save your life, it can change your life, it can add to your life if you already have a wonderful life. It teaches you to be self aware. So, being self aware, mentally self aware, as well as physically self aware of your body, understanding who you are so that you can live your most authentic life. It also, from a physical standpoint, it reduces stress, it reduces anxiety. It also creates, people always say, "Oh, I'm not flexible, I can't do yoga." Actually, it promotes flexibility so that if you are not flexible, doing yoga will help you become flexible. It's not for flexible people, it's actually for everybody. Um, Other things of yoga, it makes you physically stronger as well as mentally stronger. It literally can help boost your immune system. And these are all things that top researchers and doctors from all across the world have, done studies and have proven that yoga actually supports all of this. So I always say it's the all-encompassing practice that helps me stay physically fit as well as mentally fit. And we tend to separate our mind from our body. So you think about, traditional fitness class, you focus on the body, but we rarely ever talk about the mind. And in reality, our mind and our body is one complete system. They are not separate. I need my mind to move my body, to feel throughout my body. And when you take it and you look at it as a complete system, I yoga really helps you become aware on how to be connected to that complete system and how to promote internal healing, whatever the case may be. I tell people that there is a yoga for everything, literally everything. If you're dealing with trauma, there's a yoga for it. If you want to get physically fit and get stronger, there's yoga for it. If you are battling any kind of mental health issue, there's a yoga for it. If you are trying to lose weight, there is a yoga for it. If you are trying to find balance in your life, there is a yoga for it. If you are trying to bring peace or healing to your body from an injury, there is a yoga for it. There literally is a yoga for everything. So let's talk a little bit about how it connects me to my African heritage and ancestry, which is what we'll talk about today. And we'll actually go through a yoga flow to go more in depth into this. So, because yoga does so much in promoting self awareness and empowering oneself, I have been able to use this practice to get more in tune with who I am and where I have come from. It helps me realize my physical presence in this world and what I represent. And I'll share a little story and it'll all tie back into how yoga does that for me and how it helps me connect to my African heritage. So, like many of you probably sitting on the other side of the screen, you probably have done a DNA test. You probably, or if you are from Africa, you know who you are. As me being an American with African heritage, like so many Americans and other Westerners of African heritage, we do not know our ancestry. So, of course, we go do the DNA test, and it tells us we're a percent this and a percent that, and this and that. Well, I took it upon myself one year to go dive deeper into my heritage and to learn where my African ancestors came from, as well as my European ancestors. So I went through this process and I was able to trace my lineage, through West Africa, as through Ghana specifically, and then also my European heritage through Germany. It wasn't until I started to really peel back the layers of the onion and diving deeper and going further back into that ancestry where I realized my purpose in being here today. Realizing that within my DNA, my internal makeup, it is the combination of years and hundreds and thousands, if not millions of generations that have poured into me so that I could be here today. Also thinking about my African heritage and what that represents, thinking about that DNA still resides within me. For me, yoga helps me ground to this physical presence of where I am today on this planet. And it helps me connect to that DNA that is woven within me. Realizing that I am made up of warriors, I am made up of fighters, I am made up of royalty. I am made up of so many courageous, strong, powerful men and women that have graced this earth and this land for thousands and thousands of years, who have all lived a life so that I could be here. And so I'm getting chill bumps just thinking about it. But helping, so when I go through my practice, and you'll see me, we'll do a yoga flow the last half of this segment. And it's a grounding flow. And what that means is it's designed to ground us and connect us to this physical world. It helps center us. It helps also connect into our strength and also will help connect us to our internal power. And as I like to say, it helps connect me to that DNA that is woven inside of me from my African ancestors that have graced the land for that way back when so that I could be here breathing today. And when we go through this yoga flow, and this grounding exercise, I want you to also think about all of I call them the souls, the spirits that have poured into you so that you could be here. And I want you to think about connecting to that. What does that mean? It's a really hard concept actually for many to understand. And I'm even just the whole concept of being more self-aware is sometimes hard for people to understand. But what I want you to do is I really truly want you to physically feel, go inside your body and feel every sensation as we go through these yoga postures. They're called asanas or yoga postures. And when we go through this, I want you to really focus on what you're feeling and realize those feelings help bring you to this present moment. Those feelings that you're feeling, those creaks, those little cricks and creaks in your body, maybe you feel some pops here and there. Maybe you feel some intensity. Maybe you feel some emotion rise up as we go through some of these exercises. Every little feeling that you feel, I want you to think about somebody way back in your ancestry that gave you that DNA so that you could feel in this moment. I want you to think about that and focus on that as we go through this. So with that, we're coming up on the 15-minute mark, and I want to spend the next 30 to 40 minutes going through the yoga postures, and then I will end with a meditation, and we will close out practice from there. So let's get started. I'm excited. First thing I want you to do, if you do have a mat at home, I want you to come to the center of your mat, and I want you to come to a seated position, and I want you to sit tall. sit really tall. I say this because the majority of people in the world today do not sit tall. We spend so much time sitting hunching over a computer that our backs have slumped. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see it. You can cross your legs in front of you, just like I am doing for myself. They don't have to come right on top. You can just sit just like this if that is more comfortable. So I want you to sit tall. What does that look like? Most of us sit like this, hunched over a keyboard, or driving, wherever we are, and our posture is just so bad. So I want us to take a string. So imagine a little string, it's like tied to the top of my head, and it's literally gonna pull me up to the sky. So I'm gonna and also with that, my heart is gonna go up to the ceiling. I'm just gonna sit tall, just like so. So you saw me elongate my spine. I'm sitting in the middle of my seat bones, just like so. Good job. Draw your shoulder blades back. So I want you to open your chest and your heart. Palms are down on top of your knees. And I want you to close your eyes. When you close your eyes, I want you to go to your mind and come to this present moment. Think about some of the things that I've already talked about, but while you're in this present moment, I want you to focus on what you are feeling within your body. It can be anything. You can feel tightness, stiffness. Maybe you feel really relaxed. Maybe you don't. Whatever the case may be, I just want you to think about and feel what you are feeling and realize your presence in this moment. I want you to feel the strength of your body. We're sitting in this restful position, but there's still so much power and strength within you. And I want us to focus on our breath. Our pranayama is what it's called. It is our life force. Realize that this life force that you breathe in can only have happened from your African ancestry or whatever ancestry you come from, that this breath can only occur because they existed. Their strength, their resilience. I want you to inhale, breathe that in. Fill up the base of your belly. And exhale, slowly release it back out. Take another inhale. I want us to move to our rib cage. Fill it up. Exhale it out. I want you to take another deep breath. Breathe in that life force. Inhale from the belly to the rib cage, all the way up to your shoulders and collarbone. And exhale that out. Nice and easy. Now I want you to focus on your own breath. Not the sound of my voice, but I want you to focus on your own breath. So I want you to concentrate on your inhales and exhales and really appreciate that breath. Do not take it for granted. 99.99% of people on this planet take our breath for granted. It is a life force. It fuels our body. It energizes us. It heals us. It fuels us. And we are only able to bring in that life force because so many people before us have existed and exhibited strength and living and being here. So inhale and exhale. Eyes are still closed. You're still sitting tall. Couple more breaths. Good job. I want you to slowly open your eyes. I want you to take 2 big shoulder rolls right here. We're going to take our shoulders all the way up to our ears, and then we're going to slide them down our back. We're going to do that 2 more times. We're going to take shoulders all the way up to our ears, and I want you to slide them down your back. Do it again. It should feel good. Slide them down your back. Good job, sitting tall. And then we'll take a shoulder stretch here. So I'm going to take my right arm. I'm mirror matching you, so it's going to look like my left arm, but it's my right. So you can either follow along with me or you can take the right arm. We're all going to end up in the same place. We're going to take it across our body. We're going to stretch out our shoulder. Good job. And slowly release. We're going to take the other side. We're going to take the other left arm across our body. We're going to stretch it out just like so. Take note of how you're feeling. I'm going to remind you, give you cues throughout this to go inside of your body. When you hear me say go inside your body, I want you to literally go inside your body and feel what you are feeling and appreciate that feeling. And coming back center. Another thing that, just really quick, that I do is I also listen to Afrobeat music when I am going through my flow. And I have some playlists available for you all that I'll share at the end of this. So sitting tall, let's get back into it. So imagine the Afrobeat going in the background and sitting tall, just using that music to kind of help connect further to that heritage. So I want you to take your right hand, and it's going to come outside of the left knee, and then I'm going to take my left hand, and it's going to go behind me. So you see I'm kind of twisted here. Well, I'm going to twist somewhere. I want to twist from the belly button. And I'm going to twist and I'm going to look over my left shoulder. And I'm going to sit really tall as I do this. And then inhale, we're going to come back center. We're changing out our sides. Really simple. Left hand goes outside of the right knee. We will turn and twist. And then coming back center. I want you to unwind the legs. Your legs are probably a little sleepy and tired after sitting. So we're going to do a little windshield wiper action, just loosening up the body. Take note. How does that feel? What are you feeling? What are those sensations? Showing appreciation for it along the way. And then I want you to cross the left leg down. So the knee is going to be facing me. We're going to take the right leg. We're just going to cross it over on top of the left. So many of you may find that this may be a little challenging. Or if you have really open hips, it may be really easy. Wherever you are, it's okay. So once you do that, and we're going to take this left shoulder, or this left elbow, not a shoulder, an elbow, and we're going to turn and twist to the right. And then slowly release. We're going to change out our legs. We're going to take the right leg underneath, left leg go over, and we'll turn and twist to the left. And then coming back center. You all can still face me. I'm going to turn to the side because I want to show you the motion and the movement of what we are about to do. And it'll be easier when you see me from the side. So I'm going to sit really tall, again, legs crossed in front of me. If that's too uncomfortable for you, you can take your legs straight. We're going to take an interlace with our fingers right here. Taking an interlace, I'm going to push my palms away from me. And I'm going to start to round my back. So this is a version of what we call a cat pose. Sometimes we do it in a tabletop position. We'll do it seated today. And then inhale, I want you to take your hands behind you, and I want you to lift your heart and make the reversed motion, lifting your heart, sending your belly forward. I want you to shine your heart up to the ceiling. Feel your strength and your power. And exhale. Let's go back to a cat. Interlace, round the back. Inhale, let's lift that heart. We'll do that a couple more times. If I'm moving too slow for you, you move fast. You listen to your body. And then exhale, lift your heart. And then let's do this again for a cat pose. And exhale, lift your heart. Good job. Good job. So we're going to come to a tabletop position. So I'm going to move my camera back a little bit so that you guys can see me or see the whole length of the mat. There we go. So I'm going to come to the center of my mat. And I'm going to come down to all fours. I'm spreading my fingers wide. Even if you're at home, you're watching this and you do not have a mat, a floor will do. You do not need a mat for this. This is what I love about yoga. You can do it anywhere with anything. So spread your fingers wide. We're going to take a shoulder stretch. I want you to take right arm up to the ceiling. And we're going to thread it through, coming across the body, placing that shoulder on the mat, looking towards that right hand, and then coming into the other side. Other arm goes up, and then thread it through, across the body. This is what we call a twisted puppy. We're going to get into some good stuff. So I want us to make sure that we're really nice and open. So as we are here, I want you to take a deep inhale all the way from the crown of your head all the way to your tail. So deep inhale. Exhale. I want you to tuck your toes, lift your seat back and up. This is what we call downward dog. And as we are here, we will walk our feet, pedaling through our heels, one at a time. It's a great place to connect with your breath and connect with your body. What are you feeling? Listen to your body. What is it telling you? Your body has a wealth of information. Listening to it. And then I'm going to walk my hands, really simple, back towards my feet. Once I get here, I'm going to step onto my palms. So for any of you that are having any issues reaching to the mat, I realize it may be difficult for some. I want you to bend your knees and then slide those palms underneath your feet, and then we'll work on straightening the legs, folding forward, just taking a moment. Whenever I'm inverted in such a way to where my heart is low, it's always a great place to check in as we are looking from a different perspective. And then slowly release. Toe, heel to feet, side by side. That just means your big toes and heels come together. And we're going to just slowly rise. When you rise, I want you to literally feel yourself coming up one vertebrae at a time. Nice and easy. Good job. I wish I could see some of you all just checking in to see where we are. So let's come to the center. Center of your mat, center of where you are, center of the screen. We will stand tall. This is called Mountain Pose Tadasana. This is a perfect grounding exercise. I want you to feel rooted to this earth. I want you to feel strong. This is usually the place where I have my Afrobeat pumping in the background, and I'm literally tapping into my ancestors, feeling their strength, standing tall and courageous, realizing who I am and what I represent. Pushing through all four corners of my feet, pressing that energy downwards. My heart is lifted, my shoulders are soft. I am unwavered. Nothing can push me or steer me in this mountain pose Tadasana. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let go any self-doubts, any worries, any fears. Take another inhale. Inhale that strength from your ancestors, that strength from your heritage through the nose. Exhale, release it out. Let's do that again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, release it. Let it go. Good job. Inhale, let's bring those arms up overhead. This is called upward salute, Urdhva Hastasana, and we are saluting up to the sun. So I want you to feel that warmth lifting your heart. And as you are here, I want you to interlace the hands so you see my fingers are pointed up towards the sky or the ceiling if you're indoors. And I want you to tilt to one side. It doesn't matter which side, we'll get both sides. So when you tilt, we're stretching out the side of our body. So think of it as this mountain, as if you're almost like a tree on the mountain. You're just swaying side to side, tilting one side to the next. Good job. I want you to take your arms shoulder height. I want you to step your feet right underneath those wrists. Turn your toes out a little bit. And then goal post the arms, send the palms to the sky or the ceiling. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, I want you to sit. This is called goddess. Even if generally we think of a goddess as a woman, but a goddess is just a person, a woman of strength, a man of strength. So I want you to sit into your goddess and feel that strength. You could sway side to side as you see me doing. That's kind of helping me kind of get some stability. And then pause, take an inhale and an exhale. Good job. Let's come all the way up. Straighten those legs. I want you to take your left foot. It's going to point to the top of the mat. Your right foot's just going to come around slightly. And we're going to take our belly button. We're going to face it towards me. I'm facing it towards my camera. I'm going to draw my kneecaps up so my legs are really, really strong. Arms go back out. I'm going to take an inhale. Exhale, I'm going to slide, and we're going to come into a triangle, Utthita Trikonasana. And as we do, I want you to turn and gaze up towards those fingertips, towards the sky. And I want you to reach up towards the sky. Good job. Take another inhale. And exhale. That right hand's going to come to the mat. We're going to frame that foot. Bring your hips around. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, I want you to fold over the front leg. This is where this is going to test you. This is pyramid, Parsvottanasana. I want you to be strong like a pyramid. Find that strength. Think about all of that beautiful, strong DNA woven inside of you for you to be here in this very exact moment. I need a strong pyramid. Good job. Inhale, looking up halfway. Really simple. You're going to bend into that left knee. You're going to take the right knee. It's going to come to the mat. And we're going to sweep the arms up. Exalt your heart. You are lifted. You are high. This is a low runner's lunge or low crescent lunge, I should say. And we're pressing those hips forward. We're reaching up towards the ceiling, exalting that heart. And then exhale, change. So moving into what we call Skandasana. So I want you to take your toes. You're going to point them towards the corner of your mat. If you do not have a mat, just point them, sort of tilt your foot in such a way that's pointed to the side somewhat. And then we are taking what we call Skandasana into the left leg. So base level Skandasana, I want you to come up to your thigh and you're resting on the top of your thigh. Otherwise, we're coming all the way down into Skandasana. And as you see here, my right foot is pointing up towards the ceiling. This is very intense. Intensity is good. I want you to embrace that. Know that you are resilient, you are strong. You have the ability to persevere and go through any signs of intensity. It will not waver you. And then we want to come to the center of our mat. We're going to toe heel once or twice, and then toes are pointing outwards. We're going to sit in a squat. You can either sit here if it's uncomfortable, or you can come all the way down. This is called Malasana. It's a yogi squat or Garland Pose. It's one of my favorites for grounding. Keep your heart lifted. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And we're switching to Skandasana to the other side. So we're going to come to the other side. Send that left toes up to the ceiling. Squat into the right leg, or come up if you need to, right here. Once again, intensity is good. Embrace the intensity. Flex the foot back towards your face. Hands are in prayer. Good job. So we're going to start to walk our hands towards the top of the mat. We're facing our right foot now. And we're coming back to that low lunge. So top of the knee is down on the back leg. And then I'm going to sweep the arms up again. This is our low crescent lunge. Pressing those hips forward. Good job. Exhale. Hand to the mat. Going back to that pyramid, that nice strong pyramid. Tuck your back toes. We're going to come up straight in the front leg. Left heel goes down. I want you to first take an inhale, looking up halfway. Exhale, bends forward, folding over the front leg. Coming into partial Uttanasana. Good job. Then transitioning to that triangle. So this way, we're coming in from the opposite way. So I'm going to turn and place my right hand. It's either on the mat or right to my shin. I'm going to turn and open towards you. And that left arm goes up and I'm reaching up towards the ceiling and I'm nice and long. I'm extending on the bottom side of my rib cage for that triangle. Next inhale, I want you to come all the way up. I want you to step your feet side by side. Inhale those arms up to the sky, your heart exalted once again. And then exhale, hands through to heart center. Good job. I wish I could see how you guys were doing, but I'm sure you're doing great. Just checking to see if we're good on time. So going through all of that one more time, I will move a little more fluidly this time. So remember, what we just went through is actually called a moon salutation. It's very grounding. It's also designed to bring peace and also very soothing and calming to our body. Lots of hip opening work. And as we go through this the second time around, I want you to really think and feel every sensation through your body. So that's your only homework for, or only goal for us going through this another round of moon salutations. So let's stand tall in Tadasana, mountain pose. Once again, we are standing tall. So push through all four corners of your feet, lift your heart. You'll see me just kind of do this upward lift. I'm standing tall, strong, unwavered, unbothered, whatever you want to call it. I am an epitome of strength right now. Take an inhale, reach those arms up. Bring those arms, or actually, we got to do our tilt. So take those arms together. We're going to tilt to one side and then just tilt to the other. Coming back, center arms go right and left. Let's step underneath your wrists. Good job. And then take those toes out a little bit. Arms go 90 degrees. Take an inhale. Let's sit in that goddess once again. Nice, strong goddess. Beautiful goddess. Man or woman, whatever, you are strong, you are unwavered. I want you to wave, just sort of like sway side to side, and then find some stillness and sit lower. This is where the intensity picks in. You want to come out of this, but you are so much stronger than that. I want you to keep lifting your heart, tucking your tail. And then slowly release all the way back up. We'll take our left foot towards the top of the mat. Right foot comes around, arms go back, right and left. Take an inhale. Exhale, let's turn and tilt. Reaching up to the ceiling or the sky if you're outside like me. I want you to really feel this. Take another inhale. On the exhale, we'll take that right hand to the mat, coming into our pyramid, Parsvottanasana. Remember, we are a strong pyramid. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. This pose represents all types of strength. It works on your balance. And then inhale, look up halfway, bend into that left leg. Let's bring that right knee to the mat. We'll inhale, sweep those arms up for our low crescent lunge. Anjaneyasana is what it's called. Reaching, exalting that heart once again. This time I want us to take a back bend. So bring those hands together and I want you to just bend your back over a beach ball. And exhale, change. Take the feet towards the corners of the mat or corner of the mat. We're going into what we call the Skandasana, the side lunge. Now this is where uncomfort kicks in. Lift your heart. Really go in and feel the sensations that you're feeling. How do your hips feel at this moment? What are your feet doing? What is your mind doing? Is your heart still lifted? Because your heart still should be lifted in here. Take another inhale. Exhale. Let's come to the center of the mat. Let's toe heel once, toe heel twice. Point the toes out. Let's sit into our Malasana, Garland Pose. We'll do a little stretch here. So Garland Pose, very grounding. If you are familiar with chakras, chakras is a kind of like an energy system that's aligned down the center of our body. And our root chakra, which is associated with grounding, it helps overcome fear, helps address fear. It's a chakra designed or associated with our survival. And this helps ground and balance that, helps us feel strong, helps us feel at peace and comfortable. So I want you to sit tall in this pose. So taking a little stretch here, I want you to take your left hand to the mat. We're going to take our right hand up to the ceiling. Coming into the other side, right hand to the mat, left arm goes up. And then hand comes back down. So let's come into Skandasana to the other side. Lift your heart again. Flex those toes back towards your face. And then release. Let's just walk your hands to the top of the mat. Let's take the left knee down. We'll come back into that low crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, and then lift those arms up. Reach through the fingertips. We'll take the back bend again on the side. Your heart is exalted. You are strong. Let's start to bend backwards. Slowly release the hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes, straighten the front leg, coming into our pyramid Parsvottanasana, folding over the front side. Good job. Opening up to triangle. So plant that right hand, whether it's on your shin or the mat. We'll turn it open. Uttita Trikonasana. And then inhale. Come up. Step the feet side by side. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands through to heart center. I wish I could check in with you all to see how you're feeling, how you're doing. Just checking on time. We're doing good. So staying in your Tadasana. We're going to make our way. We'll do one more exercise before we make our way to the mat. So anytime I teach a grounding flow or sequence, I always incorporate tree pose. You know, as a tree, the significance or the symbology of it being a tree being rooted deep into the earth, a tree being so strong. And you think about trees, how some live for hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years, and how they have been able to withstand storms, withstand any significant weather impact, yet they still stand strong and they still blossom and they still grow taller towards the sun every day. So we'll take a tree pose. So tree pose, I want you to place your weight into your left foot. We'll take the right leg. We will externally rotate this leg. So you'll see me just take it out. Stay here. If you need to work on balance or if you start to feel a little wobbly, I want you to stay right here. Otherwise, we're going to take the foot to the inside edge of your calf. For those that are maybe a little more advanced or want a little bit more challenge, you'll take your leg up to the inside of your thigh, just like so. And hold it there. Just don't place it on the knee. That's the only requirement. So choose your option. I'll do the basic option right here, hands at prayer. Take an inhale and then bring the arms up. Let's take those branches of the tree all the way up to the ceiling. We can have fun with this tree pose. We can tilt or wilt our tree. We could come to the side, do a little stretch, and come back center. Take an inhale, exhale, and release. Good job. Other side. So weight goes into the right foot. Let's externally rotate the left. Let's take it. Choose your option. Do a kickstand with the toes on the mat. Bring it up to the inside of the thigh, or bring it all the way up to the upper thigh as well, right here. So choose your option. I'll do the same option I did on the other side. So bring it here, hands to prayer. Take an inhale, and then bring it up. Strong tree. Beautiful tree. This is your chance to show how strong you are. Lift your hearts. Let's tilt the tree, showing how we can be unwavered and unbothered. And then coming back center. And turn that knee forward, release, and exhale. Good job. Come to a seated position on your mat. We'll finish up with just a couple of stretches on the mat. So first, we'll take the legs, we'll take what we call a double pigeon. This is actually probably could be pretty challenging for some, but there's a reason why I incorporated it here and why I want to work on this double pigeon. So a lot of times we hold stress, we hold trauma, we hold a lot of memory within our hips. People don't realize that. It's either your shoulders or your hips. And until you can release that, you will hold on to it. So just like in your mind, whatever you may have gone through, and it could be trauma from your ancestors. It could be something that has been passed down to you. We hold it within ourselves and we have to release it some kind of way. So some of that holds in our hips. So we're going to take a double pigeon. So I want you to take the bottom leg. You see my left leg is on the mat. I'm going to take my right leg. I'm going to put it right on top. So my ankle is right on top of my left knee. And as you see, I have a little bit of space here. That means my right hip is, it's kind of tight. Wherever the case may be, I want us to sit tall. So I want you to find the middle of your sit bones. If this is really uncomfortable, if you're at home, wherever you are, I want you to find a seat cushion, a pillow, or whatever. You can sit, like stick it right underneath your right hip to give you a little bit more cushion and space. I want you to take your arms out to the side, lift your heart. I want you to go towards any tension or uncomfort you may feel. Not pain, but intensity. So take an inhale, lift your heart. Go towards it, go towards it, go towards it. And then hands come to the center. And this is where it gets real, as I should say. We're going to walk those hands forward, and you will feel that right hip externally rotate. I want you to go towards that. And when you find a place and you feel like I cannot go further, I want you to talk to your body and your mind. I want you to also sway side to side and just release any tension. Tell yourself it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I want you to walk those hands a little further. Folding in this double pigeon. And then let's rise all the way back up. Switching out our sides, we're going to take that right leg down. The left leg comes up. You'll find that one side is going to be more open than the other, or vice versa, more tense. We'll take the hands out to the side first to just to establish the middle of our sit bones, and also to help extend or lengthen in the spine and lift our heart up to the sky or ceiling. Once you're there, I want you to take your hands to the center. We'll start to walk them forward. Remember, giving yourself some love. Changing narratives that we tell ourselves, oh, I can't do it, I can't go any further. I want you to stop that right here. I want you to breathe. I want you to do a little sway, loosen any tension in your body, and walk those hands a little further. And fold. And then slowly coming back up. Good job. And then just unwind the legs. We'll turn and face the long or face the top of the mat, coming to a seated position. We'll take those legs long in front of us. We'll do a seated forward fold. So inhale, arms up, and folding forward. I don't want you to grab your feet and pull yourself. I actually want you to send the energy. It's actually coming down your foot, all the way down the leg, all the way up through the crown of your head. So it's actually more of a pushing energy towards your feet. Folding forward. And then inhale, rise. I want you to lay all the way down on your back. Making sure we're good on time if you guys see me walk over to the camera. So I want you to lay down on your back, and I want you to roll down one vertebrae at a time. I want you to feel that sensation. Go inwards. And once we're down on the mat, I want us to take a back bend. So we'll graze the ankles. We'll take an inhale, and we will lift our feet up towards the ceiling or the sky. Holding here. And release one vertebrae at a time. Draw the soles of the feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana. And then just place your hands, one at your navel, one at your heart. And I want you to feel that connection. I want you to tap into who you are. Feeling your body, feeling your heartbeats, and resting. Coming back to this present moment. And then take your hands outside of your thighs, close them like bookends. We'll take a little twist here to finish up. So I want you to take your knees to the left, and just your arms are right and left. We'll just gaze to one side. I'm out in the sun. I'm basking in its warmth. It feels so wonderful. Hope some of you can do the same. And then we'll take those knees, we'll bring them back through center. We'll just move them to the other side to look to the left. And then coming back center. We'll take a happy baby. So bend those knees. We'll just grab our feet. If there's one way to connect to who you are, just kind of going back to this pose of being a happy baby. Rocking side to side. And then find some stillness right there in the center and pull down on those feet. And exhale. Release the soles of the feet, extend those legs long, and then I want you to take your arms right and left to you. I want you to place your palms up towards the ceiling, or they can be face down, which feels more grounding or more supportive. I want you to close your eyes from top to bottom. I want you to rest in what we call Shavasana. As you rest, this is actually one of the hardest poses you can do. I want you to rest. You'll see me come and rise. I want you to stay and rest in your Shavasana. Shavasana is one of the hardest poses you can do, but it's also one of the most rewarding. Helps you tap in to your presence and your being. So as you lay there on your mat, I want you to feel your body melt into the mat. And then I will go silent for the next 3 minutes. And I want you to just focus on your body, on your being, who you are, what you represent. Feeling all of those souls, all of that ancestry that is flowing throughout you. And I want you to focus on what you are hearing, feeling, thinking in this very moment, starting now. Start to bring awareness back to your body by wiggling fingers and toes and fluttering your eyelids. When you feel able, roll to the right side of your body, extending the right arm long, using your bicep as a pillow to come into what we call a sleepy time position, or it's a fetal position, for a moment of rest, and then slowly rise to a seated position. And you'll meet me just like so, legs crossed in front of you, and then hands at prayer at heart center. Yoga teaches us that we are all interconnected. And one way to do that is one way for us to feel that is for us to do a cleansing breath as a group together. So I invite you to do a cleansing breath with me. So we will inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Let it go. We will also finish with the sound of the universe, which is Om. So we'll take an inhale through the nose and exhale with Om. So inhale. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jamila. You can find me online, Jamila Bellew, and then also at Firefly Yoga Center. It's been a pleasure. I will also talk with moderators, see if I can send out the playlist of the Afrobeat that I use for these yoga sessions to help really tap into my ancestry and help me feel more good. Some blessings. Namaste.